Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and today we're going to talk about Black Christmas and its 2 remakes and figure out which one is the worst one. I wonder which one it could be. It's a total mystery. It's up in the air. No one can predict what the worst one will be on this episode of Hack the Movies. Today's episode is sponsored by Wonder. Wonder is an app that turns words into digital artworks. You can type in unique prompts and select styles, and the results will amaze you. Let's do one together, shall we? Step 1, adjective, famous. Step 2, subject, YouTuber. Step 3, situation, talking about videotapes. I'm gonna select the hyper-realistic filter. Let's see what we get. Nailed it. Let's try one for Johanna. Let's see. Zombie porgs eating Chewbacca. Okay. Click. Well, that's the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. You can even upload your own photos and mix them with the styles they have. Here's me as a Van Gogh painting. Sign up for Wonder Pro and you can get faster processing, access to 20+ styles, and unlimited artwork creation. Click the link in the description below for a free trial and get creating today. Man, I can't wait to get in this debate. I honestly don't know which one we'll pick. But let's talk about Black Christmas. That's an interesting sweater you're wearing there.
Yeah, it's great.
It looks very familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no lewd photo on Twitter. Oh, my cat's hair. What?
Family show. It's a family show.
I'm clothed in the picture.
Yes, you were wearing Olivia Hussey's sweater from Black Christmas.
I do really. Where'd you get that?
It's like
internet.
Yeah, the internet. Also the website.
Sweet.
Yes, from
I never
Black
thought I would
Christmas.
just randomly find that sweater somewhere. Like,
So, I don't know what happened. I was just like, I think it was Instagram or something, and I was scrolling, and I guess, like, you know, they're like, hey, this is a spooky bitch, so let's, like, advertise some stuff. And I was like, oh my God.
You know what?
And, like, it's nice.
One of the,
Nice.
one of the people we met at Crypt Video Rentals, we followed each other afterwards, and she also got the Black Christmas sweater.
I never thought that would even be popular. Like, I never thought, like, oh, yeah, that sweater she's wearing is the Black Christmas sweater.
I'm gonna mention the party I went to years ago, but I forget if she had the exact sweater. I think she just had something similar.
I think most people will just look at that and see a sweater. I want to say like 90% of people will not know that's Black Christmas.
It's poltergeists and paramours.
So yes, Black Christmas, a classic. I don't have any notes written. Fun fact, I'm literally doing this after being up all night with Joe editing the Die Hard parody. And you know what? I'm sure by the time we get to this video being released, it's up to 10 million views.
10 million's a lot. You're just putting yourself way too high there.
You're right. Probably like 5 million. We'll cut it.
I was going to go with 9, okay? Give yourself some credit. 9 million. Not
9 million
but 9
views.
million.
Yes,
Yeah,
9 million views. I'm sure it's up to 9 million views.
I'm going to say if it doesn't get to 200K, I'm going to personally hunt you all down.
Yeah, you know, we got like 50,000 subscribers, and we worked really hard on that and spent a lot of time. And I'm sure
my face is still messed up from that makeup.
I'm sure all our subscribers are watching it.
And sharing it with their friends and family. Watching it on actual Christmas.
So yes, back to Black Christmas, the Bob Clark classic. Bob Clark is an interesting dude. His whole filmography.
Yeah.
He went from wrote and directed a movie called She-Man. Not sure what that one's about. But yes, he wrote horror movies, wrote and directed horror movies like Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, Death Dream, and then Black Christmas. But he apparently he didn't really like doing those. But yeah, he has a wide variety of films. Of course, this one. And then he did Porky's and Porky's 2. And then A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who would have thought that'd be the same frickin' director?
Yeah, and then our friend Tab, his favorite movie, Rhinestone. He directed Rhinestone with Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton.
I love Dolly.
Please cut to a couple seconds of Sylvester Stallone singing Drinkenstein.
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call him Drinkenstein.
And then, of course, you know, as the years went on, he made other classic films like Baby Geniuses.
Mm-hmm. Look, that's a good movie. I don't care.
And he also did the sequel, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
I didn't watch that one.
I didn't watch
You were like, no, let's not ruin the lore of Baby Geniuses.
It just does not.
But yeah.
Whatever happened? Is he coming out with anything good anytime soon?
He's dead.
Oh yeah, okay. That's true.
He's dead. I don't know if he wrote.
Can he come back from the grave and like fix some shit? When did he die?
2007.
When did Baby Geniuses 2 come out? Has it been that long?
2004. The last movie he directed was Super Babies. That was the last theatrical film. The last television film he did was Karate Dog.
That's what he did before he died.
Again, it's a fascinating director. Like, he never stuck around in one genre for too long. He went all over the place.
Well, now he went back to Christmas.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on Super Baby Geniuses, whatever. The second one came out, and you said 2004?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did time go?
I know.
I could have swore that came out more on the
just yesterday,
side.
I was like, I better get my ticket for Super Geniuses, Baby Geniuses 2.
But I don't feel like that was. Ugh.
But now, Black Christmas, believe it or not, in recent years, I've watched this movie a lot. But I didn't actually watch this movie like in my teens or whatnot. I feel like I just never caught it.
I watched it in high school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was shocked. You've literally never mentioned Black Christmas before. Until recently.
Well, see, you never really paid attention to me, even when we were dating. So I could have. Do you know what my favorite Romeo and Juliet is?
I'm sorry, what? I wasn't paying attention.
See, exactly. See, as I love Olivia, because I watched Romeo and Juliet in high school, I was like, what other movies is she in? Because she is very pretty. And Black Christmas was one of them. And I was like, I'm going to watch that.
That's right. Girls Like Shoes or whatever you just said. Now, listen. So yeah, I never really. I didn't watch it that much, but I was very aware of it. I didn't really like sit down and like truly appreciate it until a few years back. Our good friends Austin and Clay, they had a Black Christmas party.
That's actually pretty sick.
And I was like, all right. We're going to be watching Tyler Perry movies. This is going to be great.
I'm pretty sure I asked you if she was wearing the sweater.
I'm going to walk in, blasting a boombox with Run DMC's Christmas. This is going to be great. And I was like, oh, the horror movie. I was very out of line.
Did you actually...
What?
Let's just keep going.
But
so it
I
was
think
What? I'm kidding.
I am so confused.
No. So yeah, it was a Black Christmas themed party. I have the pictures of it. They literally put a wreath on their wall to look like the poster, and they had the saran wrap.
That's really funny.
She dressed like Olivia Hussey. I don't know if it was the same sweater exactly.
She had like the yellow collar. I couldn't find a yellow collared shirt.
Yeah. She had the yellow collar and a black sweater, and Clay was the guy from 2001: A Space Odyssey. He has a weird name. Oh God, Keir Duella. Yeah. So that was like a fun party, and they were giving me facts all during it. We did like trivia. And I'm like, oh man, it gave me a good appreciation for the film. And then of course Joe Bob did it on his stream.
That's what I ended up rewatching. Yeah.
Yeah, and I learned more about it there. And now because it's just always on Tubi or any streaming site,
it's free on YouTube.
Huh?
It's free on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
I put it on all the time. Last year.
I think I watched it on Peacock though.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Peacock, last year me and my best friend watched Halloween Kills, and I mean, me and Crystal reviewed it. We said our piece about it. He really didn't like that movie, so we had to follow it up with Black Christmas. Like, he needed to wash the taste of Halloween Kills out of his mouth with Black Christmas.
Okay, I got that.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it is a phenomenal horror film. It's really good.
It's a good horror film. I wouldn't say it's a great holiday horror film. I say it's a good horror film.
Yeah.
It's like a Die Hard thing where it's like it's happening during Christmas or whatever, but its actual genre has nothing to do.
It has nothing to do.
Well, now Die Hard is a Christmas movie thanks to us.
Talking about actual movies, Tony.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie was originally titled Silent Night, Evil Night.
Yep.
Apparently they didn't want to use Black Christmas because this was like during the 70s, so there was a lot of blaxploitation films, so they thought it might get grouped in with that.
Well, I mean, if you actually Google Black Christmas, like some of the things that pop up.
Same thing. So I was trying to figure out, I was like, okay, where can I watch all the different Black Christmases at? So I spoke into my Alexa Fire thingy, and I was like, hey, show me Black Christmas movies. And
Yep.
it took me a really
It's like
long
Tyler
time.
Perry.
Yeah, it took me a really long time to actually find Black Christmas, and I was like, oh, there it is.
You literally have to type in like the years, otherwise it doesn't pop up right away.
Yeah, no.
So if you don't know, the story is about a sorority house. And they're getting, what?
Really quick,
Yeah.
you know what it was originally supposed to be?
What?
It was actually supposed to be babysitters. Do
That's
you know
funny.
that? So
That's
yeah, because I
funny.
rewatched the Joe Bob one, and
Yeah.
I was like, there was so much information he shares, so I don't even know if I'm going to remember all of
Well,
it.
he says in the thing, there's like 5 documentaries about this movie.
Yeah.
There's
Is
so
it really?
many. Yeah.
Holy shit! It's the fact that it was actually supposed to be babysitters, but he eventually went into sorority and that stuff. And
Yeah.
they say that that Halloween was actually, it was supposed to be a sequel of Halloween. Everyone wants to say,
It's like
and it's
misreported.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
People think
not.
that's what it was, but there are some interesting facts there when we get to 2006. But yeah, so the movie's about a sorority house. They're getting calls from a creep that they call the Moaner. And I think the Moaner like has heard of sex and he understands like parts of it, and he's trying to like say sexual things to them, but it's like weird.
Is that why you want to talk about the 2006 things? Because, yeah. Yeah.
But this one, like, I forgot. Like, usually when you go like further back, like the 70s, like you don't expect movies to have like
That
super foul
explicit,
language, and then
yeah.
it's just like, oh, you're blah blah blah, my juicy
Oh my
cock. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie has an all-star cast, or people who would end up being huge. It's
Yeah.
got Olivia Hussey as the main character, Keir Duello, who was in
Do you know
2001.
why Olivia Hussey was actually decided to do this film? Because it's kind of, I'm going to say it's kind of below her before. Like, if you read the script, you're like, she's done amazing acting.
Yes,
Theater.
Quest of the
She's one-
Delta Knight, Psycho 4, The Ice Cream
No,
Man.
no, no.
Oh, those are
But
the
she
only
really
movies
is
I've
an
seen her
amazing
in.
actor. But you look at this film too, you see her and her counterpart, what's his face? It's just like their acting actually stands out because they're really good.
Yeah.
But it's because she believed in psychics, and her psychic says she was going to go to Canada to film a movie. And a couple weeks later, she got the script for Black Christmas, said they were filming in Canada. And she's like, well, I have to take this because of what my psychic said. And the only reason why her counterpart ended up taking it is because she was in it. So if she didn't see the psychic, they would not have been in this movie.
You mean the guy? He took the part because she was in it? Yeah. I just thought he was a really convincing college-age actor. I looked at that guy.
It's a little creepy.
I looked
He
at that guy and I'm like, oh, that's a college freshman of
Not at all like Grease.
Oh my gosh. He was
Yeah.
what, 36 or 38?
Yeah, there's a lot. Maybe look, it's never too late to go to college. Maybe he started really late.
Look, or some people just look a little bit older for their
It is
age,
funny,
right?
like when you go further back, like in the 70s, it's like everyone just looks. I don't know if it's just they are too old, like Grease, or if it's just like people just aged really poorly back then. But yeah, Margot Kidder's in this, and she's great.
Oh, she's so good too.
She's so good in this. And
I love her
talked
wreath.
about, huh?
Her wreath.
Yeah, and we talked about the
Yes.
original Superman,
Yes.
which she would end up being
She
in.
has such a sad life of
Yeah.
going crazy and committing suicide.
Once again, John Saxon is in a movie, and I forgot my John Saxon autograph.
What the fuck? You fucked up.
Both times I've forgotten
You
it.
fucked up.
Andrea Martin, who comes back in the next film. Yeah, and it's just like a ton of people in this. This movie is very creepy. And again, this is like
good.
not quite a slasher film, but it's like Halloween is what solidified like what a slasher is, but this is like
Yeah.
that Texas Chainsaw era.
What?
The town that
Because it came out the same day.
Yeah, but like Town That Dreaded Sundown. It's like when like the slasher series was starting to form.
But what makes a slasher movie a slasher then?
Well, I think it's just because like it eventually evolved into I'm a guy or I'm one person and I'm going around slicing people up.
I mean, that is what they do in Black Christmas.
Yeah, but it's not like this one is like more leaning on suspense and
Is it because you don't see him?
you don't really see
But
the
that
killer.
happens though in Halloween where you don't see him.
No,
for
you
most
see
of it.
you see Michael. Friday the 13th they cover it up a little bit.
Oh,
until
Friday the 13th,
sequels.
they have to hide it.
Like I said,
because
there were
it's
no
not
like
Jason.
cliches or rules set up yet, but this film led into films that would inspire the slasher genre.
I would still call this a slasher.
You can call it a slasher
I
if you
call
want.
Psycho a slasher. I say Psycho was one of the original slashers. I say Psycho was one of the original POV shots for slasher and horror.
Yeah.
I would say that, but everyone wants to say Black Christmas was.
No.
And then they want to say
POV shots existed for a while.
the POV like as a killer. But
okay.
but that's still that still existed.
Yeah, it existed.
They want to say so much came from this film, but I want to.
It's like this is the one that everyone saw and got big.
Yes, I'll go with that. But even before Psycho, there was other things too.
But the POV is creepy in the beginning. This movie is so good at suspense and like building dread. Because again, you don't really see the killer. The most you see of him is his eye. His eye.
That yellow. Or no, it was a red eye.
No.
The red eye.
No, you're skipping ahead to the yellow
Sorry,
thing.
yep. I had to remember which one was.
You only really see his eye, and you just hear him, and it sounds like he's like doing voices.
Agnes, don't you tell what we did, Agnes.
And like maybe the killer's name is Billy or Agnes. He's saying random shit. And it's real creepy. Like the movie gets away with so much just having them sit around a phone and just hearing nonsense, and it does like the perfect job of like filling you with dread.
But that's also why back then though it flopped. Because of those reasons.
Yeah.
Now I think it's...
It's a cult classic now.
Yeah.
And I think because people didn't really understand it.
There wasn't a lot to compare it to back then.
There wasn't. And all of a sudden they're kind of bored with it where they're not... It wasn't a satisfying ending for them.
Yeah.
It wasn't... you don't get a backstory of the killer, which a lot of people were really pissed off at. I'm okay with that. I actually sometimes... I don't like it when we go that deep into backstories.
That's why I like the original Halloween.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Because then there's Halloween 2, and it's just like, no, you ruined
You don't need all the
What about
backstory.
6 where a cult made him or something?
Yeah.
Ruined it!
Stop with the backstories. That's why I also love the movie The Strangers. Like, I will always say that is one of my, I find more of the realistic horror films because they were just murdered just because the people were home. There's no backstory. There's no reason. There's no nothing. You don't know who they are.
And this does a great job of that.
And that's what I like.
Because we don't know what that guy's doing there or why he's there.
And it puts that in your head. All of a sudden, now you're at home. And I think it's what it does when the movie is over that really creates that horror. Not when you're watching it, but it's the after effect of you're laying in bed. You're like, why the fuck was he there?
Yeah. And again, maybe he's a guy named Billy. We don't really know.
We know nothing.
Because he's just saying nonsense. We don't know what his story is. But the kills aren't like overly graphic or anything.
They're not graphic at all.
No.
And no one's like
blood.
overly acting or anything either. There's no like...
You all right?
There's a dust got in my mouth.
Anyway, no one's actually like overreacting.
No.
Like when the one kill, whatever, when oh my god. Her name. Oh my god.
I'm blanking on all their names.
Olivia's character. I can remember the guy. I can't remember hers. She goes in and she sees some people dead or whatever. There's no like, ah! thing. It's just like looking in horror.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what
that's one of my favorite shots in that movie, by the way.
Well, like that first kill where like the girl just like, she's like realizes someone is in her closet and you kind of see him behind the plastic and he just wraps her.
Yeah.
And then throws her in front of the window, which became like the
great.
poster.
I think that's great. I think that's... And the fact that kill came so early, like you see a little bit in the beginning of like something creepy kind of looking around with the POV and then going up the trellis. Little fact, that was before they had the Roman
Steadicams.
Yeah, they didn't have the Steadicams. So they actually made something and mounted it to put it on his head so it would swerve. So he was able to
suck.
I'm sure it sucked. Just listening to like all the behind the scenes of like Evil Dead and how they didn't have much stuff to do. I can't even imagine, because this is before Evil Dead, being able to do that kind of stuff. But the first kill, I loved how quick it was.
Yeah.
It just like
they're all quick. They're not gory, really.
No, you're not built. You don't build on anything. You don't build on a backstory. You don't build on the characters. You just you go in, but yet you still care about the characters.
Yeah, this is back when it was
Which
just like just the concept of someone killing you is scary. And then eventually the genre turned into like, well, now we got to become creative and you got to think of cooler ways.
Sure.
Which I like that too. But back then you didn't really need that.
Yeah.
And I like I said, the stuff with him always like pretty much always being in the attic and they don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's something that ended up being in Hellraiser, which worked really well.
Yeah.
Because I think that's another thing. It's like one of the things that scares me is when I hear something in the house that when I know I am alone, and it's happened to me multiple times.
Remember that one time I came to hang
Did
out?
we tell this story on
I
the
know.
show? Okay.
I want to say it again. I went over to hang out when he still lived in Philly, and I was going down to his basement. Like, his mom just let me in, or she's like, "Oh, he's down there," whatever. And he knew I was.
No, I
coming
was
over.
alone. I think I just told you it was unlocked.
Maybe I don't know.
But I
Whatever.
didn't hear you.
Regardless, he knew I was coming. Like, he knew I was heading over there. And I'm walking down the steps or whatever, and, like, I just plop my bag down next to him or whatever, because, like, you know, he knows I'm... And literally, he was just like, ah!
I was so scared. Like, it really.
Like, later,
I could see that happening now with Tony.
later
Wait.
he's telling me how, like, oh, this is it. This is it.
I'm dead.
I'm done.
Wait, did I...
I'm just like...
Remember when I got the Arnold Schwarzenegger cutout?
Oh, yeah.
I got that cutout in like 2008. I bought it. We went back to my place and I left it in my room and like we forgot about it. And I left it in front of my window. So like when we came home that night, I walked in, I just saw the outline of a man in front. I was like, oh my God. So yes, stuff like that scares me. And which is why
Tony's
this movie
easily
like,
scareable.
Yes.
yeah, which is why this movie makes me really uncomfortable. Cause it's like, oh, I know he's up
But we
there.
only go into more uncomfortableness as the films go on for you.
But however, as scary as it is, it's also really funny.
Oh, yeah.
The house mother is hilarious.
oh my gosh, she's great.
When
Oh,
she pulled the alcohol, was it brandy? What was
Yeah.
it? Whiskey?
Yeah,
Scotch,
out of the
whatever it was.
toilet.
Out of the toilet. I'm like, and she's like, what, she just like brushed her teeth? I'm like, girl!
She just took it, she gargled,
Girl.
spit it out, and then drank some more. And I was like,
Well, my favorite scene is when the poor dad who doesn't realize his daughter has been murdered. And he's like, oh, I was supposed to meet my daughter. Do you know where
she has her hand.
Yeah, he goes to her room and he's realizing his daughter's kind of like a wild child girl. And the the house mother's like trying to like,
Hide
like,
things.
oh,
Hide
she's a
this
really
stuff.
great student. It's like, who's this boy? Like, he's a nice guy. And then there's like a poster of people having sex. She's like putting her hand on it.
my
Like, she's
God.
really trying to cover for the girls.
she's trying to cover, but she can also cover for herself. What is she on the like the steps saying shit about the
Yeah.
cat?
Yeah, she's like talking shit. And I also love, what is it? Is it Margot Kidder's boyfriend or whatever? Guy looks like Gene Shalit.
Oh.
When he's supposed to be Santa and he's just cursing in
Oh
front
my
of the
god,
kids.
that is hilarious.
And he's not even trying
No one
to
even
be
care.
Santa.
Yeah.
There's some really funny shit in
There
it. I
is.
really, really like it. So yeah, it's really, really creepy. It does a good job of making you care about the characters. And of course, they added in like topical stuff for the day because it was a year after Roe v. Wade, which apparently, like, he didn't really have an agenda with that. He just thought it was something to like they just thought it just added.
It's a current thing. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know, this is a current thing. Make it more relatable. They weren't saying like if they were for it or against it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it leads, that whole subplot leads into this cool misdirect with the boyfriend.
Yeah, red herring.
Yes.
Yeah, it really does because he's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He's just kind of sort of crazy. And
Oh my god, when he was yelling at her, I'm like,
or just destroy when he's destroying that
The piano just going nuts.
And that also broke my heart. That piano, that's like a 9-foot grand piano. Those are like $100,000.
Look, give the guy a break, okay? He went to space and came back as a floating baby. All right. Have you ever done that?
Maybe.
You probably break
Maybe.
some pianos if you went past Jupiter into another dimension and came back as a floating baby.
Maybe.
I would love to talk about 2001: A Space Odyssey on the show, and I know it'll just flop. I know.
Really?
Yeah, my audience is gonna be like boring.
Oh.
Boring.
I actually would like to review that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, well, whatever. So yeah, I pretty much like everything about this movie.
yeah.
It's really, really solid. I don't think it's winning worst Black Christmas.
No. But when you do compare it to other films, I don't think it's one of the best horror films. I will say that. I think it's a good one for its time.
Yeah.
That is what I will say. I don't think it's
Oh, this is
when
my
you
number
think
one
of
pick.
like okay. This is not my number one pick. But I think it's one of those things where it's really, like I said, it's really good for the times, and it's not, everyone wants to be like, oh, Black Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas horror movies. But to me, it's not, it just happens to be Christmas. If I'm going to pick a good horror Christmas,
Yeah.
I'd pick Jack Frost or Krampus.
Jack Frost.
The horror movie. Yes, absolutely. Jack Frost.
Santa's
Jack
sleigh is also there. You know?
Oh, there's tons of
Jack
them.
Frost.
Hey, Jack Frost is great. Fuck you.
Love Jack Frost.
Jack Frost
And
2 is even better. Fuck
was gonna say
you.
that.
God.
Tony and I are actually on the same page for once. I'm loving that. But yes, like that Krampus, like there's so many other where they actually take the holiday and they make it scary. This just happens to have but it's a good horror film
Yeah.
overall.
It's got a really great ending, which again people didn't like.
It's so good though.
Yeah.
But seeing that lady in the attic window and the phone ringing,
So
it's like,
creepy.
oh no, shit, that guy's still alive.
I also believe it was believable how everybody was being picked off and how like no one was just like, oh, well, people are dying before they figured out people were dying.
Yeah.
It is
like,
very believable. Yeah.
In 2006 was that?
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you not know? How? Like, what do you do? Like,
Let's not beef on my favorite one.
So yeah, I know we're kind of all over the place, but I kind of want you guys to see Black Christmas. Again,
You have to,
It's
yeah.
almost always streaming somewhere. Oftentimes for free, like you said, it's on YouTube.
And it's pretty quick too. It's not. It doesn't drag. It goes
No,
by
it's-
pretty quick.
yeah, it's
only
pretty
like,
quick.
they're all about
and
an
a
hour.
half.
Yeah, I think they're all about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's got a great cast.
Jinx.
It's got a great cast full of just
Really good people.
college age 30-something people.
Peter sucks.
Huh?
Peter sucks. I'm glad Jess beat the fuck out of him, even though it wasn't the right guy.
John Saxon's good in it. I mean, he's got a lot to deal with. And he's got to deal with Freddy Krueger a few years later. Like, this guy's rough.
Yeah.
And Bruce Lee. He's got to deal with Bruce
Yes.
Lee.
Yes, he does.
That's the autograph I have. It's a picture of him with Bruce Lee.
That's
Oh my
actually a pretty
God.
good one.
Yeah. Oh, the phone is ringing.
Oh.
Hello?
Do you have a copy of the 1984 classic film Rhinestone? I really need to watch it. I really need to watch it and sing along to all of the songs.
Okay, we'll call back later. Now, Black Christmas, 2006.
He's my
I don't know
favorite.
whatever version on Tubi is the version I watched. There's an unrated cut that's apparently,
Really?
yeah. But I'm not sure which. I have nothing to compare it to.
Is it HBO?
I think I watched it on Hulu.
I watched it on Tubi. I assume it's whatever version. Now, this, it actually
Why
bummed
are
me
they
out reading about this one. It actually made me
Why?
sad because I love Glenn Morgan, who is one of my favorite X-Files writers.
Absolutely, 110%.
He was a showrunner on Millennium. He was a really cool dude. And at this point, he had directed the Willard remake. He wrote Final Destination.
Three, right?
No, the first one.
You wrote the first one? I thought he only did the third.
No, he wrote the first one and the third one.
Oh, and the third one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you wrote the first one. Fucking
Yep.
genius.
Oh shit, he's an uncredited writer on Trick or Treat 1986 with Ozzy
Still haven't
Osbourne.
seen that
Oh,
one.
that's a fun
I
one.
know, and I've been dying to see it, and I keep telling myself I'm going
Oh,
to watch it, and I don't.
he wrote the one with Jet Li. I
Oh
think
my
we have that
God.
movie. So anyway, so
Sweet.
Black Xmas, as the poster says. So this got me like really like bummed out reading about it because I liked Glenn Morgan and like he really loved the original. Bob Clark is an executive producer on this.
Yeah.
So he was working with him. He gave him his blessing. They kind of worked together. But I'm not saying his movie would have been perfect, but the Weinsteins decided it
They ruined the
wasn't.
ending.
They ruined the ending and they made him add in a bunch of like over the top gore.
Yeah.
And when we get to what the fucking gore is,
They liked that one effect and wanted to reuse it over and over
Yeah.
again. They're like,
Okay.
oh, we made this look really good. I'll use it all the time.
Yeah.
My question, though, is how did you guys go into watching this?
I went in, well, one, I knew that the most beautiful woman who's ever existed was in the cast.
Anyway, I love like the whole cast, so I was like ready.
But I looked at the cast and I was like, oh, as soon, because I actually didn't, I never knew this really existed too much. I knew it existed, but I didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
As soon as like it came on, as soon as I saw the actors, the vibe for it totally clicked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
So it came in with me as a ridiculous, over the top, we are going to make fun of it like hell. And
Dude,
I
it's-
just had so much fucking fun with this.
like, it's got like 4 major babes as the star. You've got Lacey Chabert,
yeah.
Mean Girls.
who I don't know if she ever did any other horror movies, but
She did. She did something. Well, I don't know if it
She's
be
done a
like
bunch of Christmas
horror,
stuff.
But there's like a thriller thing that she was
Yeah.
in where she was like stranded in like a desert or something, and
Yeah.
then at one point she had to do an IV on herself from someone's silicone boobie. Yeah,
I didn't see that
it's
one.
like a whole thing. Yeah,
Nice.
My girl.
she's good in it, but
My girl, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah.
The year later is when I would see her, or no, actually this year. The year it came out was when I saw Grindhouse.
Yeah.
Where she was the cheerleader. I'm
Yes,
like,
she
well, that's
was.
the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And she was John McClane's daughter. Michelle, I want to say Trachtenberg, but I'm friends with Good Bad Flicks, and he pronounces his last name Trachtenberg.
I don't know.
Michelle, she's in it. Harriet the Spy is in it.
Yes, Buffy.
She's
Buffy's
Buffy's
perfect. Yeah.
And like the star
yes.
is Katie Cassidy from like Arrow and all the CW superhero
God,
shows.
yeah.
She was like the Black Canary. So I didn't expect that. And again, Andrea Martin, the girl from the original, is now the house mother in this one. So yeah, it's got a decent cast. It's got a good writer, director, but it.
So what didn't you like? Did you expect it to be more of a serious, more of a horror film?
No, I kind of guessed what it was gonna be. Oh, by the way, this is the last film Shirley Walker composed before her death, who did the Batman the Animated Series score and whatnot.
R.I.P.
So yeah, I kind of guessed what it was gonna be. Like I thought it was gonna be like, you know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
It wasn't though.
Like other remakes that were coming out at that time.
Okay.
Like, what was there? There was like the When a Stranger Calls remake.
Yeah.
We should mention Black Christmas, I think, was like right before this big boom in telephone horror, like When a Stranger Calls and a bunch of other telephone horror movies.
When did Rob Zombie's Halloween come out?
2007. That's a year later.
Okay.
What else was there? Like, there was just a lot of these around that time. We're like, we're gonna remake this movie, but
Gorier.
Modernize it. Yeah. So
I didn't get that. I took this as
really?
like in between. No, I took this as in between one of those kind of remakes, I guess, and Scream, or not Scream, and like, well, actually, kind of like Scream, Scary Movie.
okay.
I took it more as a almost parody, but not as strong of a parody. I just had so much fun.
If it was supposed to be a straight up parody, that's something the Glenn Morgan can do, but it didn't feel like that.
It was like how I felt with House on Haunted Hill, where like I could tell like maybe there was something there, but it just wasn't landing for me.
It really is like, it's just, all right, we're doing this movie again, but like we're gonna overly explain the killer's backstory.
I thought that was hilarious.
Well, no, hilarious stuff happened.
I thought it was like not supposed to be like serious. Like it's like we're gonna over explain it on purpose. We're gonna over explain this ridiculousness on purpose.
I can see that, but it's just
that's the way I took it. I just took it as just an entire joke the entire
and
time.
The gore, like I said, the gore,
was
although
over the top.
The gore isn't
acting
quite
was
their
over
fault.
The top. Every little aspect was over the top. How can you ever think that this was a serious remake?
I don't know. I think they wanted it to be a
Yeah,
serious
I think they
remake.
wanted it to be, and then of course it
It got
ruined.
turned into something else.
Well, I had fun.
Now, I will say,
I love this movie.
one thing we learned from the Joe Bob thing is that apparently John Carpenter asked Bob Clark what would the sequel to Black Christmas be. And apparently Bob Clark said it's like, oh, the killer would be in an insane asylum and he would break out and start killing again.
Yep.
And then people think John Carpenter took that idea,
Yes.
but no,
didn't.
this is the killer is in an insane asylum and he breaks out to do more Christmas crimes. But like the whole thing is like,
I did like that kill, by the way, with the candy cane.
but
that did
That
make me
was so
crack the fuck
good.
up. I was like, you gotta be fucking
the movie's
kidding
like
me.
shot
With
real
him
interestingly.
being Santa, like really,
He has
guys?
the lights in his room and
Yeah.
stuff. It's like,
I really like the green and red lighting in this movie. It's actually pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
do like the
Lighting
lighting.
actually really good. I mean, they did a great job with.
And he uses like
the
Dutch
lighting in this.
angles and like funny
Yes, the
close-ups. and
cinematography
whatnot.
was actually
Yeah.
good.
But Billy was born in 1970. Billy is like a straight up character in this, and there is an Agnes, whereas before he was just, maybe his name's Billy, he's just rambling. But he has jaundice because of liver disease. His mom hates him.
his dad loves him.
And his dad loves him, and then eventually his
dad did love
mom.
him.
This is like sprinkled throughout the film, but his mom is like, me and my new man are gonna kill your dad and bury him under the house.
Can't tell me that wasn't ridiculous.
And then I guess the mom was like,
So
my
funny.
husband keeps falling asleep.
Husband.
I said it right.
He doesn't say husband. He says husband.
Crystal can't join in on this.
can't join in.
Crystal can't join
I
in on
can
this.
join in. I can say whatever the fuck I want. If I want to make fun of you how way you talk, I can make fun of the
Who's
way you
that
talk.
green guy Batman fights? Anyway,
The Wibbler.
the Riddler. Anyway,
Oh, but this is how you get the kills too, because he saw the way his mom killed his dad.
Yes.
And that's how that evolves.
but like the mom, she was like, man, my boyfriend, he fell asleep. I need to get laid. Let me go like have sex with my child upstairs.
Well, it's because he couldn't have children.
I
He was
guess, but
impotent.
like,
No, that's what it was.
well, why didn't she just kill him too and find another guy? Why did she think her son was the next?
Because this movie's fucking weird, Tony.
Like incest is already gonna give you a high risk to having a messed up kid, but then your kid has like a liver disease on top of it.
Did you see this freaking character? She was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yes, but then that brought on Agnes, and then eventually he killed his mom and dad, his stepdad.
Oh my god, those kills were great.
Yeah.
I like
so,
the cookies.
So flash
Oh
forward.
my gosh, we have to talk about that. We have to fucking talk about
The
that.
cookies.
The
Apparently,
cookie
that's
cutter.
like one of the things like Morgan didn't like. He's like, oh god damn, like, because they
That
made them
was-
cannibals.
I think it was hilarious. All of a sudden, he just takes her back with the cookie cutter and literally is making skin cookies. And when the cops come in, he's just literally. I actually like almost looked away from the screen as he's dunking it in the milk and putting it in his mouth because it was just so gross. I was like,
gross.
this
Not
is
as gross
so
as the scene
gross.
with the cherry tomato in Return of the King. Sorry, I said what I said.
Okay.
We're gonna
So-
get to the real reason why Tony doesn't like this movie.
So flash forward 15 years. Again, the movie goes back and forth. We're going in chronological order here. A bunch of girls at the sorority house where Billy used to live. I think it might be implied in the original that the killer might have lived in that house because don't they? They show like
it was implied. It was
they show like toys or something
Yeah.
in the attic. Yeah, but this one spells it out for
Yeah.
you. They're like, this is Billy's house. We always leave a gift for Billy the killer. I'm like, that's a weird tradition to have.
Yeah.
Like that's like a weird thing for like a sorority to do.
But
Like
I think it's one of those like this is one of those weird like sometimes sororities just have like those really weird things that they do. And
I don't know if sorority should be celebrating murderers who were in houses like post Ted Bundy. Like I feel like it's real insensitive.
we pretty much celebrate serial killers constantly, so I don't want to hear it.
I don't.
You don't?
Listen. Okay, listen. This might be a hot take, but serial killers, don't agree with them. Do not endorse them.
That hat doesn't fit you.
It's really tiny. I don't know where it came
It's
from.
really tiny.
I've been waiting for someone to call me out on it. It's like a very ill.
I can't stop looking. I'm just like, should I say something? And I'm like, I'm gonna say it
Oh,
now.
I was just
and the
letting it
super,
happen.
it's like super flat in the ball.
It is. His ball is flat.
It's an impotent, much like the character in this film. It's impotent. And unfortunately, we don't have a Blue Chew ad on this episode, so I can't get it up.
You got to the end.
That would be amazing.
No, we don't have an
After
ad.
the
I'm
But
just,
after the ad, the hat's just sticking straight up.
We do have stuffing somewhere.
anyway,
Oh my god, how can you not make a Blue Chew ad during Christmas time?
So, yeah.
So many jokes.
so yeah, they're leaving gifts for Billy and whatnot, but like Billy breaks out of the insane asylum, and now people are starting to get murdered around the house. And all the girls
Someone's
are ridiculous.
not noticing.
Huh?
No one's noticing.
No one's noticing.
Oh,
The
and
one
the
girl's
real-
super drunk.
The real weird porn aspect of it.
Oh yeah,
was
the one
weird,
girl
too.
like
She's
finds the
like-
guy's port, which is
He's just
that guy is
records.
Kurt Russell's stepson. Hold on.
Yeah, he's just recording everyone he has sex with, and like the tapes were released. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was the guy who played Kyle was Oliver Hudson. Yes, he's Kurt Russell's stepson, Bill Hudson's son, Goldie Hawn's son.
Gotcha. Oh wow. But yeah, you see like little things of like kind of like tributes to the other one. Like this is trying to be more of a remake where you're like, oh, he's the crazy boyfriend.
Yeah,
And then you,
they're trying that misdirect. But it
you see
doesn't
the-
work because we
have
know.
to see the original. I feel like to see this.
Like we know the killer's there, and then there's like another twist where it's like there's actually two killers.
yeah, but the little things though, like when the Christmas gift because they're doing Secret Santa, the one with the crystal unicorn.
Oh, yeah, the real
Like,
dorky girl with glasses gives them a big unicorn.
Which was used in a kill in the previous.
Yes.
that's what it is. I think you have to see the original to see.
Yeah, there's
this.
a lot
And
of sprinklings of
there's
like,
so
hey,
much
remember
love.
this from 1974?
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it ends up turning into like the girls are getting picked off one by one. They try to make it creepy. I'll give them credit. They try to be creepy, like showing that the killer's spying on them with like the yellow eye.
Oh my gosh! And in the bathroom.
What the fuck was that? You could not see anybody from that angle.
No, you can't.
Hey, that was stupid.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck fuck was that?
Oh wait, what was the one?
Pin ridiculous
the thumbtack.
See through thumbtack.
The push pin coming out of the wall so you can spy on them. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't see shit.
Laughing. See, that's the thing I'm talking about. You can't take it seriously with that. Because
Yeah.
I fucking died laughing. I was like,
And
that's hilarious.
they do the thing with the attic and whatnot, but then it gets like real like fucking Looney Tunes where it's like,
Yeah.
like they're in the walls and it's like, oh come on,
You-
like this is getting a little ridiculous now that they're climbing in the walls
Yeah.
and living in the walls. So it turns out Agnes has lived there for years, right? I assume
What did they say? She escaped or got out of the psych ward.
okay.
She somehow was out of the psych ward, and then I guess when he escaped, they met back up. I don't know if she's been living there or not.
Wow.
But they do like eating eyeballs. Can we talk about the eye stabbing?
It
was nothing but eye stabbing.
I
Which
swear
one
they
of
were
you
like,
did-
we
which one
love
of-
doing this effect. Let's just reuse it.
Which one of
reuse
you
it,
did I
reuse it,
text while I
reuse
was
it.
watching this? Was it you?
Saying which?
I think it was you. You want to read my text?
Tony is gay. No.
Oh, thanks to the guy on YouTube who let me know that I'm gay. I didn't know. I was talking to a lady. I had to let her down. Like, hey, sorry, someone let me know I was gay.
in a
I'm
happy
so-
way.
I'm so conflicted. On one hand, the women in Black Christmas are the hottest I've seen. On the other hand, there's too much eye injury.
So yeah, the Weinsteins, they really wanted a bunch of gore and they settled on eye injuries. It's constantly eyes being pulled out, eyes being more
many.
than See No Evil, the movies that are about a killer who wants to cut out eyes. I feel
Yeah.
like this had more eye stabbings. Yeah.
They had a Christmas tree of nothing but eyeballs.
Yeah. So I hated that. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the worst thing Harvey Weinstein's ever done. To me. To me. To me. To me. To me. To me.
Is that hot?
Not anymore.
I'm sure if I got together with a bunch of people and we were comparing Harvey Weinstein stories, I'd probably lose. But that's the worst thing he's ever done to me, okay?
You're so fucked up.
It gets more and more ridiculous. They changed
to
the
the
ending
next
of the movie. The movie was going to be like, is Billy alive or something? Or are they dead? Or are they alive? But no, they made them rewrite the ending. They made them change the ending.
I actually love the ending.
And now Billy falling into a Christmas
Oh my god,
tree.
it was great. Just-
Getting impaled.
Yeah.
Yes, I died laughing.
The strongest
Once again,
Christmas
I
tree in the world. Like, what the
Loved it. Loved it. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I got a whole thing with the studio intervention here. Let's see. Morgan's original script ended with Kelly and Lee in the hospital receiving a phone call from Billy, whom they believed to be dead. This scene, which Morgan filmed, was intended to pay homage to the conclusion of the original film. This ending, however, was scrapped by Bob Weinstein, who requested Morgan write and shoot a different ending. This ultimately resulted in a more violent conclusion that appears in the theatrical cut. I will say, like, as much as I hate that decision, if you think of like the movies that are coming out around that time, they probably did need to up the kills and like the ridiculous stuff.
It was at that weird, I guess, few years where everything was super gory.
Yeah, and it's not being marketed as like this like real like serious whatever. It's like, oh, it's killers on Christmas. So
Yeah.
I get what the studio's saying, but it's just like they probably should have made that clear before filming.
Yeah.
And then this is really fucked up. They just made Glenn Morgan just shoot additional like shots and stuff that were only meant for the TV spots and trailer and were never intended to be in the film.
Really?
Yeah, something like there's like a lawnmower with Christmas lights, a girl beneath a floating lake. There's just weird shit. Michelle Trachtenberg with a shotgun saying Merry Christmas is one of them.
Sweet.
Do you remember that from the movie?
Nope.
No.
I fucking don't.
More of that.
So yeah, so I don't know. The movie doesn't work for me.
Works for me.
It doesn't work for me. It's kind of interesting. Here's the thing. The killer's wearing pajamas. Like I'm just not
It's so
not
funny.
scared of them.
They're wearing matching pajamas.
Yeah, and I'm just like waiting for
Brother
that.
and
Like,
sister wearing matching pajamas. I mean, fucking Agnes has a weird ass mask on her.
like Agnes is creepy. I'm still wearing pajamas, but like Agnes is a little creepy. Billy, it just looks
He's
like
a grown man in fucking.
Billy. Yeah,
onesie
Billy just looks like
Just
he's
a
ready
guy.
for a nap.
He's just a guy.
It's like he's just like he comes home like
It's fuck.
for a minute. You know what's weird? I forgot that he killed the guy to break out of the thing.
Yeah.
So I thought there was going to be a twist like, oh, maybe he's going home to stop his sister. And then I was like, oh, no, wait, he killed that guy. I'm like, oh, wait, they're just both the
Technically,
killer.
it's his daughter, isn't it?
Sister, daughter.
Yeah, because she does say also, what is it? This is why you can't take it seriously. It's like, oh,
Oh.
It's like, oh, your brother's dead. Your brother's not here or something like that. You're not your brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, she says that because she thinks it's just Agnes. This is when she realizes it's just Agnes.
Yeah.
She goes, well, this isn't your family. Your brother's not here. She goes,
No, my daddy's here.
So stupid.
so fucking.
You know what?
awesome.
It's not dumb enough for me to enjoy it.
Really?
No, it's not
so
dumb enough for me to enjoy it.
ridiculously dumb.
They kill my girl like off screen. She's just in the car and blood squirts.
I'm
on
really
the thing.
surprised. Like the people they had, they all just killed them off, and then some other girl that I don't think I've ever seen in another movie.
She does a lot of TV. Like I said, she's Black Canary.
You said TV, I said movie.
She has been in the. Oh, you know what? You know what other remake she ended up being in?
Oh,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
She was
worst one of all time.
She was Tina, I think, in that one. Yeah. I mean, I like her. That's actually what's his face? That's Katie Cassidy. That's the guy from the Partridge Family. Yeah, that's his daughter. Yeah, so this movie bombed. It bombed. For some reason, they decided, by the way, budget $9 million.
Holy shit.
Which for a horror movie, you could totally recoup that easily.
Yeah.
Not counting the advertisement. So yeah, budget $9 million. They decided to release it on Christmas Day, December 25th.
It's like when they did My Bloody Valentine on
Yeah.
Valentine's
Well, that's a date
I think
movie.
That's
more of a thing.
smart. For at least for Valentine's
They
Day.
waited too long to release their Black Christmas movie.
Yeah,
you know, kind of like us putting this out the day after Christmas. We probably should have done it a little bit
Tony,
earlier.
I was wondering when we were gonna film this.
Look.
Yeah, we're back together finally.
Oh my gosh.
Look,
Everyone's
the Lord
like,
of the Rings.
Cody can't handle them together. That's why they're not on anymore.
Oh no, it's because Thor bombed.
Thor did bomb.
Maybe it's because the movie actually wasn't that good.
Thor was horrible. Yes.
Hey, they as of this recording, they submitted it for best visual effects at the Oscars.
Yeah, I know. Love that Heimdall scene.
Anyway, so yeah, they released it on the 25th. No one wanted to see a gory movie, and then afterwards, no one wanted to see a Christmas movie. They're like
how no one's gonna end up watching.
They should have released it maybe after Thanksgiving time, early
Yes.
December.
Yes.
It's the same like if you're releasing like a Christmas song or whatever. No one's gonna want to. You know what I mean? Like everyone has their set thing to do on Christmas.
We were supposed to release Die Hard before Thanksgiving, but the production was just too complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it murdered the thing, and it killed Glenn Morgan's directing career. He wrote a couple things after that. He didn't direct again until the X-Files revival.
Oh.
And his wife, Kristen Cloak, she didn't really act again after this until that movie Lady Bird, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of bummed me out the most because I'm like, Glenn Morgan was so talented. I mean, the Willard remake's okay, and writing Final Destination, like, it would have been cool to see him do more movies, and then this fucking killed it.
The vibe, and X-File revivals wasn't.
He directed the 2 best episodes of that revival.
I'll go with that.
Those episodes are fucking hilarious and awesome, but yeah, everything else.
The whole thing overall, yeah.
Yeah, overall.
I mean, but then again, we're also comparing it to OG. It's like when you're comparing Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
you can't.
Yeah. I don't know. How did this one make you feel? Since you seem to like the original one more than all of us,
I said it as we were talking about it. Like, I think it was a little too gratuitous in the horror. But I feel like the Weinsteins just ruined it. I see that there could have been a potential there, but it's just meh. I still say this is number 2 though.
But we're not at that part yet.
In order.
Yeah, so I guess if I was back then, if I was a big fan of Black Christmas, I would have hated it more. But now,
I didn't hate it.
Older, I'm just I kind of give it leeway because of the studio interference. It doesn't remind me of other movies where it's just well, you totally fucked this one up. It's okay, well, you were trying to go for something and they kind of screwed you over. But
like Warcraft,
I'm probably never gonna watch it again.
Oh, I want to watch this again. I really do.
It's your favorite movie. You love it. I understand.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie, but
favorite movie. You love it.
I did really like it. I really, really liked it, and I just had fun.
It's got Mary Elizabeth in it. I'll give it that. And
actually, I think this is the only Black Christmas that has nudity in it. Too.
The mom. I remember the mom had her tits out. The creepy mom had her tits out at one point. Who else got naked in this?
No, in the shower scene. There's a straight up shower scene where he's staring at her while she's naked.
Right.
literally ass.
After the girl throws up and then her like
Yeah.
toe knocks up the tile that's also
And there's
a
multiple
peephole.
tiles that he's looking up. It was fucking
So for
hilarious.
years, no one's like touched that tile. No one's mopped and moved that tile. What the fuck?
That's why it's ridiculous.
But yeah, no, there's stuff to like in it. It's shot
Over
really
the
well.
top gore. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
The icicle coming down. I love the kills.
Oh
in it.
wait, the icicle kill. That's not
was
even a
ridiculous.
kill.
That
That's an
was so
accident.
ridiculous.
The
Yeah.
girl just like walks back and the icicle goes
I
through
literally,
her.
when that happened, I was like, I'm literally by myself watching this. I go, yes, look, it's a touchdown.
But yeah, so that's Black Christmas 2006. Oh, we're getting another phone call. We're getting another phone call. Okay. Hello?
Anybody else remember that podcast, Castilla versus the Pod Monster? Haven't had one of those episodes in quite a while. Hey, Tony.
Oh, okay. Thanks for calling. A lot of weirdos lately.
Huh.
Anyway.
Fuck.
Now, that brings us to
I really don't want to talk about this.
Blumhouse's Black Christmas 2019 rated PG-13.
It's PG-13.
It's PG-13.
We're gonna talk more and more, and I'm gonna get
This movie it's one of those like in name only. It has very little from the original in it.
It's a sorority, the end.
There's a sorority.
It's a sorority. There's
A
weird
person
messages.
is killed and put upstairs, although she's outside. And instead of creepy phone calls, they're getting creepy
DMs.
Facebook
DMs.
DMs. That is the extent of the comparisons here. I watched this movie for the first time. I was never going to watch this movie. Okay. So you know we make fun of those like right-wing grifter types on YouTube that like if you put like a black person in a superhero movie, they immediately scream woke and then cry and bitch about it. Remember we talked about in like our Hellraiser review, they made Pinhead a woman and everyone cried and bitched, and it's like
It really wasn't.
and
that
it's
big
like,
of a
yeah,
deal.
sometimes it's Hollywood pandering and sometimes it's not a big deal.
Yeah, yes.
And like
Sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not.
and then sometimes it's like, well, this movie stars a woman, and everyone's like, oh, the Hollywood's feminist agenda, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of times it's over exaggerated.
Yeah.
Well, this is like Moby Dick. This is the white whale. This is a legit woke, more concerned about its politics and social messages other than telling a good story movie. This is, I think I told you, this is like the left-wing equivalent of like a movie made by Ben Shapiro where it's like the story and all doesn't matter. You're only watching because of your politics and whatnot. This is, I watch is like this movie feels like a right-wing YouTuber troll, like Vito, our friend Vito. It feels like one of them made a left-wing movie as like a joke to piss off left-wing people. It's
Yeah.
And again, I know people are like, don't bring up politics. Like the movie is bringing up, the movie is not being subtle at all.
I'm just saying right now, Chris is literally the worst fucking person in the world.
So yes, this movie is, and they wrote in, I think they said in here, they wanted it to like comment on the Me Too movement. They wanted to.
That's fine.
Yeah, and they wanted to make fun of, they wanted to like, you know, address like the stuff with Kavanaugh when he was under fire.
There's nothing about abortion in this either.
Carrie Elways is pretty much Jordan Peterson.
Yes, there is something about abortion in it.
What?
Mm-hmm. There was a line.
Yes, there is.
Oh.
Yeah. Carrie Elways is in this, and apparently he's supposed to be based off Jordan Peterson, who the left wing hated for years because he was trying to make men manly again and teach men how to live. And if the movie had just waited a couple years, Jordan Peterson, they would have been like, oh, it turns out he started popping benzos too much. Now he cries all the time. You didn't have to make a movie to make fun of him. Real life ended up fucking him up in the end.
Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels who.
Yeah, this movie 100% has an agenda. And I don't even care if you agree with it or not. It's just like that. This would all, by the way, everything I'm saying, your politics on your sleeve, blah, blah, that'd be fine. If the movie was good, and it's a shitty fucking horror movie. This reminds me of They Slash Them. They Slash Them is better than this movie. But remember that one? So we did a live episode and we talked about the horror movie They Slash Them, the Peacock one. And I think me and you were talking, it's like, I actually just wished it was just a drama about gay kids at a conversion camp and dealing with it. But when it remembered it was a horror movie, it sucked. Same thing with this. This could have been just a story about a girl trying to get over a sexual assault that happened.
Yes.
And like, you know, dealing with men and women. But then they're like, oh, also it's a horror movie. And it's like, well, both of this really, really sucks.
And black magic.
That was spoiled for me ahead of time.
I didn't know. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Just to give spoiler for this movie. So there is no singular killer in this. Just spoiling it. Fuck it.
I don't care.
So the evil Jordan Peterson professor, he
From Saw
carry on.
and Princess Bride.
So he is constantly getting yelled at by the students because he's a misogynistic guy and he believes in the patriarchy, and the fraternity that he kind of heads. They end up getting
a fraternity that the founder of the college went
to.
So
there was a petition to take down the founder's bust, which does happen a lot.
Yeah, because he owned slaves and stuff in the North.
Yes. Yeah, well, the North had slaves.
A lot of people you know.
Yeah, but anyway, so the fraternity got the bust, and then they found out that the bust had magic spells written on it and black goo that gives you superpowers. It makes you an army of alpha males or something, and they're gonna use that to kill all the women and make them subservient to men.
Submissive and breedable.
Submissive and breedable. And I'm like, this literally is like an angry feminist writing like the worst movie.
So my thing is like, there are bad movies, and I love bad movies, and there are movies like that I can say like, oh yeah, I hate that movie, blah blah blah. I actually hate this movie.
Oh,
like,
I hate
this movie.
I hate this one on a really big personal level. Like, a lot of it's coming from my own personal opinions. You can say whatever you want because they have a lot of touchy subjects in it that can be very, very sensitive. But I was watching this and I wanted to stop it so bad because I was just getting so angry and angrier, and they still didn't shut the fuck up, and it kept going. And I almost texted you saying, I'm not fucking watching this and I'm not fucking reviewing this shit. I love Black Christmas, but fuck, this last one is not worth reviewing.
Yeah.
I was I almost didn't sleep because I was laying there and I was like, what the fuck am I going to say?
It feels like it's one of those like, I get what you were trying to do. So, Imogen Poots, who used to be
Riley.
Who used to be Imogen Gay Poots. At some point, she dropped her middle name from her credits and stuff. Maybe she's less happy. Get it? I think I just killed Crystal.
Maybe she doesn't have gay poots anymore.
Fuck you. The fuck?
Oh, do you want a minute? Do you need a minute?
I'm good. Fuck you.
So yes, she lives with her sorority, and
gone.
I wonder what happened there. Her friend Chris.
I hate Chris on a if she was a real person, I would literally be kicking her ass right now.
So Imogen Poots, she went to a frat house and got assaulted. I don't know if there's a lot of high school girls who watch my show, but if you make the mistake of going to college, 1, you're stupid. It's a scam, depending on what you're going for. 2, don't go to fucking fraternities. Just don't. I fucking hate frat houses. They were the worst.
That whole thing.
And it wasn't it was like the worst kept secret, like the frat houses. And it's like, why do people keep going there? Like,
well, that's the thing.
They expect men to not be pieces of shit.
That's the thing. It is. But the
I mean, I expect all men to be pieces of shit.
I hate it. Frat parties were the worst fucking parties to go to in college.
Well, also because you were a guy as well.
Because I was a guy as well.
And there's also, so I did all of that my freshman year.
Yeah.
And I went to frat parties all the time with my friends.
Yeah.
And there was a whole ratio, this many girls to this many guys, or you had to pay a cover. Most of the times it was just guys that had to pay a cover for the girls.
Yep.
You go in the basement. It was a giant party. We had frat row, sorority row.
I loved frat parties. I mean, I loved basement parties. I just didn't like
No,
ones
they were
run by the
frat
frat.
Dude, the fucking frat party, the one I went to, I'm in the basement and they have a beer pong table where they have like their fucking sigil bullshit or whatever on it. They got mad at me because I didn't want to drink the fucking beer that they had in the fucking cups after they were, you know, bouncing the balls on this dirty basement floor where they're squeegeeing off the old beer from the table. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind if you think I'm drinking that.
Of course they were mad.
that-
They probably slipped something.
Probably.
And the jungle juice.
I did not drink.
And the jungle juice. It was just a giant fucking thing of Kool-Aid and as much cheap vodka as possible.
Oh, they put Everclear in.
That's really
so
what a lot of it was.
fraternity
ended up
sucks. So
being
she was
Everclear.
there. She got assaulted by a guy.
She got raped. She
Yeah.
got straight up raped.
No one believed her. No one believed her, which is like, that happens. Like,
It
there's,
actually
like,
happens-
I'm not like against, by the way, I'm not against all these plot details. It's just the way the
If it was done right.
The way the movie
Yes.
addresses them
Yes.
and tries to tell the story, I'm like, oh,
So
no.
that's my biggest problem with this film is you're taking serious issues that do happen a lot. Where things have happened, and I'm talking on my own personal experience as well, where things have happened to me and I was not believed multiple times, and the college takes someone else's side, and it always depends on the person's status.
Oh, it's
And
just with anywhere, too.
I
It's
know,
not even
exactly.
just-
It's not even just school.
If they have
but
power,
unfortunate-
then-
Exactly. It
Oh,
happens,
the power thing. Yeah, okay, keep going.
and it happens a fucking shit ton, more than it ever should.
Yeah.
And the way it just feels like it's mocking this, and like it mocks
Again,
the
it
Me
doesn't.
Too,
So
where-
yeah. So
Can I talk about the part that really upset me? Since
Yes,
we're
tell
technically
the part. Tell
Yeah.
the part.
So when Chris uploads, because they do that show.
Okay, can we talk about that song?
Okay.
So
we'll do that first.
What the fuck?
So-
Why?
Hold on.
so
We're very angry.
It's just
So
the whole
again,
movie's a
so
mockery
apparently
of very,
there's
like,
like the
important
fraternity
subjects.
is putting on a show, and the sororities and whatnot, they do acts there, and you think these girls would be like, no, we're never
We're
going
taking a
back there.
stand.
Yeah, or we're never going back. Instead, they're like, no, we're going back there. And then the one girl, a guy gets all handsy with her, but the Imogen character stops it.
Riley.
Yeah, so Riley, sure. No, I don't. I'm calling her Imogen because
Sure.
then I'm thinking of my good friend Riley, and I don't want to group him in with
Color
her.
gay poots.
Gay Poots. Why did she drop gay from her name?
I don't know.
You watched 28.
I'd rather drop poots.
You watched 28 weeks later. She's Imogen Gay Poots.
Yeah.
Suddenly she stopped being gay.
Stop being gay.
So she has to fill in for the song that they have planned, and it's the Up on the Rooftop, blah blah blah. And this song was written by the girl from Garfunkel and Oates who Me Too'd Louis C.K., which that was a whole like situation there. And the lyrics are about like how she got assaulted at the frat, and like everyone's booing her and whatnot. But it's just like I don't know if this is the best way to address.
It's supposed to be this big empowering thing, and I'm like, what?
I don't know if talking about
No.
like getting raped while you're like popping your butt out in the sexy
Yeah!
fantasy. Like, I'm a little confused by the message you're sending here.
I didn't lead you on for goodness sake. I couldn't have 'cause I wasn't awake.
But also, she knew. All right, for some odd reason,
And she knew the guy was there.
The guy, for some odd reason, the one alumni that is coming back, happens to be him. Which there are so many issues with the. I don't even want to say storyline because it's not even a fucking storyline.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of fucking bullshit put into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you know he's gonna be there, why go? Why are
You
you
can make
putting that
arguments.
It's supposed
energy?
to be like her
I get-
taking back her
and I
like
understand.
agency and
Yeah.
shit.
And I get it. I'm like all for that. You know, I actually want to always call like I like to say like you know, assault, instead of saying assault victims, I like to say survivors. Like the same thing you would say cancer survivors and stuff like that because they went through horrible traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
But you're putting more energy into this. Did you know you just found out he was going to be there.
Yeah.
So what, but why are you bringing back, why
By the
put
way-
yourself, why put that energy
By
out
the
there?
way,
Because you're not really standing up for yourself. You should be doing more instead of making something funny.
Yeah, well,
you
here's
should
the
be
thing,
doing
here's the
something
thing.
different.
You can channel your like anger and stuff into some kind of art form, even if it's like
Sure,
darkly humorous.
absolutely.
Don't do it at the fucking frat house.
Frat
What the fuck
house
are you talking
where the shit
about?
happened.
I'd be terrified. I'd be afraid that they're gonna come and like literally like beat me up.
Yeah, I don't
You
even
are
want to go
putting
to frat
yourself
house.
in danger.
Yeah.
You are literally putting yourself in danger.
Yeah. So anyway, your problem with Chris. I just wanted to set up what the scene was. Keep going.
So she uploads the video of that whole song, and at the very end of it, whatever, Riley made some comment about like
I guess that'll teach him to rape someone.
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
So she didn't even watch this video that she uploaded to the fucking internet.
No.
But also did it without the consent of Riley. That's her sexual assault.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? And they made her out at the end of it to be right. What is wrong
I
with
did hate that. I hated that. They made her the fucking hero. They made her the
Sorry, I
fucking
probably
hero.
like pitched
and she
that.
they're literally in the kitchen where I was like, oh, maybe this movie is going to turn around where she's saying, not everyone believes in what you have to say. You're not always right. Not everyone is this. I was like, oh shit. Thank God.
Like, get her.
This bullshit of a storyline and all the
I got real
Shut up,
excited.
Tony. I'm fucking talking. They took all this bullshit that is such a stereotypic cliche character, and I thought they were going to turn it around and show, like, okay, this is bullshit, this is really what it is, and actually make it into a good movie.
Like, there's a way to be right.
Ruined it by made her the fucking right and made her fucking the star of the fucking end of the film. And I'm like, but your main character literally just said the truth of how we're all feeling.
Am I allowed to talk real quick? Am I allowed to talk?
Fucking good talk. I don't want to talk anymore.
It's a man. I know I'm a man and I'm evil. Am I allowed to talk? No, but you're right. At one point, the movie starts like getting self-aware. I'm like, oh,
yes,
this might be a thing where they lean so hard, but now they have to self-reflect. Because the girl said, like, we're taking the power back, and the girl's like, no, we're just pissing people off. We're not part of any movement. We're not getting anyone on our side. We're just making the people who hate us even angrier. And I'm like, that's a little self-aware. And then the boyfriend is like, what is it? Well, no, here's the thing. It starts off, it's like, yeah, you guys just shit on men all the time. And then they go like, all men. He's like, me included. And they group him in because of the power structure. Yeah. Which,
and then, what was the fucking Chris also makes the comment like, oh, like, did you just all men us? Because he like said not all men.
Yeah, and then like right, I'm like, okay, he's got a point there.
He did have a point, whatever, but then it got a little too
far.
And then you could tell the writers that are like, oh,
he's making a point. He's actually making a point.
Wait, that's actually making too good of a point, so we have to make him look bad right away. It's like, what the
fuck is the bullshit also about, oh, why are you drinking beer all of a sudden? Trying to make him look like, oh, because he's been hypnoptized by the whatever. All right, first of all, how the fuck is he being hypnoptized? Because
I still don't understand.
He started hearing the ringing.
Yeah,
he started hearing the ringing.
Yeah, and that's how he ended up getting migraines.
It never explains that.
No, it says it.
No. I know they never show you like how they send him the migraines, and then I know once they put the black oil on them.
He had it at the party, at the frat party thing it started. So all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, I never see you drink beer before," and it's like, "Oh,
beer
now
men.
Beer's
for
a
men.
Thing? Are you fucking kidding? I fucking love beer.
Yeah,
like what the."
It's so stupid. But yeah, no, like I got so mad when it was almost self-aware, and then they just doubled down, and I'm like, oh my god.
I can easily say the moment I tuned out this movie, and I think a lot of people might have been the same thing, was I heard the line, "I can't find my Diva cup. Where is my Diva cup?"
I have a final in 10 minutes and I can't find my Diva cup.
That's that's how the movie starts.
Hold on. Okay, like cool.
Once
like
that line
you're
was
using
said,
the Diva cup and everything, but then also like she gets a pad from the other girl, and full on just fucking shoves that thing in her pants there, and it's just like, girl, go in the bathroom and wash your fucking hands.
I know
what's wrong with you.
Yeah, that is disgusting. I know there's more guys that watch this channel, but that's not okay. That is not sanitary. That is not what we do. We don't do it in front of our friends. Like it's just like
I use a fucking cup, but like Jesus fucking Christ.
It's just a personal thing, and like why does it talk about it so often? It talks about it way too much than I ever wanted to hear the word diva. I don't even
want to look at my Diva cup ever again.
Stop saying Diva cup.
I heard that word more times in that movie than I ever heard in my own fucking life. I was like, this is. And then you see it at the end.
If I was Diva Cup, I would sue the fuck out of them.
By the way, I love that this female director and stuff like is trying to make a movie aimed toward you guys, angry women. And I love
we're angry about this movie.
And I love that it failed so spectacular.
No, the moment that video was uploaded and Chris didn't take responsibility and just like, oh, well, I'll edit that end part out. And it's like, I was like, nope.
And I don't think she ever apologizes or anything.
Like, that's not about you. That did not happen to you. You can't use someone else's fucking trauma for your own game.
And by the way, I get you want to help your friend and get her over stuff, but it's like, hey, some people move at a different pace.
Yeah. Because what, is 3 years?
Yeah.
But like,
This
some people
girl-
never get the fuck over it.
This girl is
That shit you don't get over every time. Ever. You never, ever, ever get over that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You never get over rape. I
not
don't
not
care.
get over, but you know, like she's clearly not ready to deal with it
You know
to
what?
this
She's
extent.
processed
She's gonna be
it to-
processing that for the
Yeah.
rest of her goddamn fucking
Yeah.
life.
But I'm just saying, there are eventually people who can, you know, like it'll always be with you, but
Yeah.
you can do stuff. But like, she's clearly still at a bad place. It's
She's
like, all right, so
clearly
we're gonna
traumatized.
go to where it happened and do a song and dance in a sexy outfit. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's the worst idea.
And how the fuck, where'd the dress come from? Why do they have the dress that she got raped in? Why is it on display throughout the
That's right.
entire fucking movie? She never even wears it again. It's
Yeah.
just there. They just make a point to hang it up, and it's
Oh
always
yeah,
in
and
the
then
background.
at the end, the bad guys they were collecting stuff from them because the one girl is a traitor.
That's
'Cause
where the
she-
Diva Cup went.
because she.
Why would
because-
someone fucking steal a fucking Diva Cup?
And
Why
then-
do you even know they have one?
And
Why?
then the one, yeah,
was
and the
the
one
sorority
girl,
sister.
the one girl.
Give a fuck.
That's the funny thing.
I'm
It-
your friend. I didn't know they used a fucking Diva Cup. I don't give a fuck.
That's the thing. The movie wants to be like all girl power, and the one girl's like, I actually like being traditional and stuff. And they're like, well, that's the worst woman in the world.
I like being submissive and breedable.
It's like that's. Hey, there's some ladies that are out there like that. Like they exist.
They're
As
content.
long as they're not forced into it, or like, there's some that are
Everyone
just
can
like,
no.
like I don't feel like being in the march. like. But this movie's like, hey, if you feel that way, you're the devil.
No, and that's not true. Some people want to be stay-at-home moms. Some people want to be working moms. Some
I'd
dads
love to be
wanna...
a trophy mom.
Yeah, right.
A mom?
No.
No.
Oh, you
What?
did say mom. You said the word mom. Trophy white baby.
No.
Well, you've had practice.
No, it's because my nephew calls me trophy mom.
I,
But there are some guys who also want to be stay-at-home dads. Like, it goes both ways. Like, you know, you want to say, like, men suck, women suck, people suck in general. I don't even fucking care if you fucking want to say you even identify as any gender. People suck.
And my favorite thing at the end is when they realize, oh, we've killed too many of the characters. And it's like, oh no, another sorority house was attacked.
I had to replay that because that was so fucking
By the way,
random.
that's how it was advertised. So one day we're going to talk about You're Next when we finally do the Underrated Final Girls episode. But so I remember when I saw the advertisements for this, it made it seem like we're turning the slasher genre on their head, much like You're Next. It's like these killers weren't ready for these badass girls. And even the poster, it's them looking all tough with
Yeah.
the bow and arrow and stuff. Oh, by the way, the killers wear like cult robes and shit.
Weren't the masks kind of like from Eyes Wide Shut?
A little bit, yeah. So that's how it was advertised. Like, okay, that's an interesting not for Black Christmas. That's an interesting concept. Like, again, like You're Next, where it's like, yeah, we're serial killers and we're here, and oh, we were unprepared for these ladies. I'm like, okay, I can see that
That could
working.
be a fun concept.
It's 5 minutes at the end. Like, it's just they show up and they're all like
dumb.
they're all badasses, know how to use every single weapon, and I'm like, that would have been like fun for the whole movie, but because that would be a fun remake of Black Christmas where the killer's there, but it turns out the girls are all into self-defense.
Yeah, and
Yes.
they just beat the shit out of the killer.
That would be awesome.
Or it's harder for him to, like
Yeah.
that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. But no, it's just there at the end. But all the advertisements were like, these ladies are badass and they're taking down all these killers.
What the? This can't be real.
But also, they don't even talk about the other sororities at all until
Until the
guy-
very end, when they realize they need more bodies for the fight.
Well, there's that, but also during when the cop got the call, you think he's going to break down the actual sorority that we're watching, and he breaks down a different house. I literally had to rewind because I was like, wait, wasn't there other people in the house? What just that? I did not. I had to literally record that because I was like, I has to go down a little slower. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just, oh, that's a different fucking house. What the fuck just happened?
And every man in the movie is the worst, except for the one non-white guy. He's okay, apparently.
But
You
he
know,
still,
they
he
got
still
him at
goes
one
in.
point
But he was able to get rid of
Fight
that
through
brainwash.
because he's a good guy.
I still can't
Not
believe-
all men, apparently.
I still can't believe when I read the thing that Carrie Elway is supposed to be Jordan Peterson. I'm like, Jordan Peterson literally keeps filming himself crying and he's bitching about Twitter like a fucking loser. Up yours, woke moralist. We'll see who consoles who.
But also, even like the fucking fight scene when all of a sudden, you know, right when she's about to die, and all the women just come in and break the door down. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if that chunk, like that many men were trying to take down that many women, like there's got to be more of a fight scene. Also, when they're leaving the room, I'm pretty sure women are still fighting in the room when they started shutting the door. I was like, are they shutting the door? Because you only see the two girls. I literally was like, they're locking all the other girls in. I mean, like, I
It's
guess
so
every girl for herself, but like, and then all of a sudden you see all of them going down the steps. I was like, there's no fucking way all the guys were beaten down like that.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This was, by the way, this was right.
Didn't fucking what did the girl? What Chris say? Suck my what? Did she say dick? I don't
think she actually says
she say
it.
Oh, they censor it.
Oh,
They censor it because I think it's PG-13. I think it's like
She
they
just goes,
censor-
suck my, and then puts it down. I was
Okay.
like, that was, I think, the worst kill is killing the audience. Killing and beating them over the fucking head over and over with your fucking agenda. And using a name that's already been
Yeah.
established to promote your fucking agenda by characterizing, making this very super important subject into something almost laughable and over-exaggerated.
Yeah.
And making
it made me so uncomfortable.
If you want to get your message across, like maybe don't have your message relayed by like the most annoying characters in the world, because people who might not be familiar with this topic or haven't really thought about it before are gonna be like, "That's fucking. I don't want to hear anyone ever bitch about this again. These characters suck." Yeah, it's not good. It's not good, and
It's
I think
bad.
I think it's time for us to pick what is the worst Black Christmas.
It's not Black Christmas. It's not fucking Black Christmas. They just used the fucking title to push something. I don't understand. Like,
I was
what
like,
is their
Lawnmower
point?
Man.
Yeah, Lawnmower Man.
Use the name.
Just-
What
the,
happened?
the movie Lawnmower Man is like, they say it's based off Stephen King's story, and I think he sued to get his name
Yep.
off it. It's like, this has nothing to do. You just used the title. What the fuck?
So
That's
they
what
just
this
stole
is.
the title
That
and
is
then
what
just did
this
whatever
is.
the fuck
Yeah.
they wanted.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's no, there's
It's
no
weird
house on. There's nothing.
Blumhouse
It's
did
not-
this. I know Blumhouse is hit or miss.
I like Blumhouse for the most part. I was actually after the movie, I was like, really, Blumhouse? You just
Yeah,
you
this is
broke my heart.
this is a year after they brought like Halloween back. And I know people are split on what happened with this trilogy, but that first one is solid.
I will watch all the Halloweens 1,000 gazillion times, especially those last 3. I will watch the fucking Rob Zombie Halloweens over and over, then ever watch this
Yeah,
fucking
this same
piece of
year-
shit
I'm never
ever
watching
again.
this ever again in
The
my
same
life.
year
I know,
this
it
came
shouldn't
out,
exist.
Yeah, the same year this came out, they put out Glass, Happy Death Day to You. I've never seen the Happy Death Day movies. I hear
haven't
they're
either.
great. I hear they're good.
I've only
Same.
watched the first one.
The movie Us, which I still haven't seen that either.
It's really fucking
and
good.
Ma.
Still haven't
yeah.
seen Ma.
But then, yeah,
I know.
Blumhouse really is hit or miss, because like the year afterwards, they put out fucking Fantasy Island. They're like, we're gonna
I
take the
did
show
see
and make it
that.
a horror remake, and
Did
no
they-
one saw that. But then people liked Invisible Man.
I liked Invisible Man.
They delayed the hunt. Oh, Blumhouse did The Craft Legacy.
I have
Oh,
a lot
they
of
did.
problems with that one
I
too.
didn't see it.
Can we please do the Craft and the New Craft?
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was streaming on Twitch, and a lady I was texting was like, suggest Netflix movies to me. So then I just started asking the chat to suggest movies to her, and she was watching the live stream, and someone was like, The Craft Legacy. I think it was Joey C. And I was like, Joey, you want me, like, do you understand how much women love The Craft? And you want
Not
me
that
to,
one.
you want me to suggest like the sequel that no woman I know even saw or wanted to see?
Yeah.
And hate it. The few that did see it hated it. Like, are you trying to screw me over?
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, Black Christmas 2019 is the worst. It's
Even as a movie.
even
Yes.
as a movie on itself, it is awful.
Take out the genre of horror. Just
and again, they don't do the phone call shit. They do like
Yeah.
the bust of
Weird
the founder
like
DMing them.
well, whatever about the friggin' bust or whatever. But like, I understand trying to make it a little more modern, and obviously, like that's how you would make it more modern because people are texting on their phones and stuff.
Yeah, no one calls.
But like, a fucking head with
Yeah.
black goo. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, and then people
black
actually
magic.
and also people don't bleed too. They're possessed fucking people. They bleed goo.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, where's the blood? Oh, so they get possessed and now their actual blood
Wait,
is
that's the thing.
fine?
So the movie wants you to like hate all men because men are going to take over the world. But they establish that like these are guys who probably just wanted to fit in and have been brainwashed and had their agency taken away from them. I don't know how many are willingly participating in this.
Hey, it's
scheme.
almost
Exactly.
like, look what you did to the men. They
Yeah.
can't have trauma.
That reminds
That's
me.
the thing,
we talked about
too.
it in Mad Max Fury Road, where like people always hype on like the sex slave message, and like I feel like the male child soldier message was equally as important and gets overlooked.
yeah.
I don't know if all those guys are bad guys. They could just be brainwashed by the black goo.
Absolutely. Because also she does smash it, but yet they're still all fighting except the one.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, so were they not brainwashed or were they
I
brainwashed?
would probably say a
Like-
lot of them like probably were like, oh hell yeah, like let's get in on this. But then there's the guy who's like the good guy, whatever. Like
But he was the only one that
Mm.
stopped fighting. And I'm like, but clearly the others were brainwashed too. Like, I'm sure not every fucking guy that joined the fucking frat.
Because
And
again,
bad.
frats are weird. People want to do. They'll do anything to fit in, to be accepted by the frat. They could have been like, yeah,
But that's
I'll
the same
do this
thing
thing,
on
and then they're
sororities.
possessed. Yeah.
Sororities, they both fucking haze. They both are. I've never been in a sorority or frat, so I don't have the personal experience. But the people I know, like, they want to fit in. They want to have this community and stuff like that. That's all they want. They want to be kind of cool and hang out and party. It's college, blah, blah, blah. But what the fuck? What the fuck?
Movie
no
bad.
One, no one is like, let's start a frat to kill all women and to, you know.
Movie bad.
And I do know, like, they do stick with each other when people are accused. And a lot of want to support each other and be like, oh, that would have never happened and this, that. But make that a different, because you got your messages so fucked up.
Again,
and
she
you are
probably
not
should have
making your
just.
point.
She probably just should have written a movie about someone who was sexually assaulted and dealing with their attacker. Like that would have been same thing with they/them. That should have just been a movie about like queer kids at the conversion camp dealing with that. The whole like now we got to sandwich it into a horror movie thing is fucking weird, and it doesn't work. Black Christmas 2019 is the worst Black Christmas.
It's
Do
the
not
worst
watch
movie.
it.
Do not watch it. I mean, I guess if you
No,
wanna
don't
make-
watch it.
I actually might watch it with some friends.
I
just
can't
to do,
believe
like,
I
a riff on
rented that.
it.
I put fucking money into that. I gave them fucking money.
I did too. I tried to download
Fuckers.
it. Like, not enough people were like putting it on torrents, so I guess no one wanted to watch it. And like my torrent thing didn't
I
pick
could
it
have
up
gave you my cable login.
for
I
2019.
tried that.
whatever.
It wasn't working for me. I try to use like, because I have 1,000 brothers and sisters, and I was
No.
like, okay, who's got fucking cable? Let me try this, and it wasn't working.
I
Anyway,
used my
that is
parents
it
and I
from
watched it
us.
on
I
FX.
hope you guys. I hope you guys had a great
Oh, we didn't
Christmas.
say what our favorite and our worst was.
I think it's blatantly fucking obvious.
No, I think you said we
So you're
unanimously.
2, 1, 3.
I definitely think
1, 2, 3.
2 and 3.
Thank you for watching. Let us know what your favorite Black Christmas is and what you think the worst Black
Wait,
Christmas
are you
is.
also 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that likes 2 better than 1.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's fun. But how's everyone's holiday? How's everyone doing?
You're like, they had flip phones. I connect with that.
I did have a flip phone.
These girls are pretty. I connect with that.
The girls and Mean Girls.
I mean, I guess put like Black Christmas 2006 like on mute and just look at the girls maybe while you're doing something else. Like
I mean,
You look up, you're just like, oh yeah, she's so hot. You look down at your phone, you look back up, and it's an eyeball.
I mean, I'm not gonna do that. I'll never watch this movie for as long as I live.
can we just come
honestly,
to like his
you know
favorite
what?
characters and then just eyeball?
Honestly, I'm almost shocked that that's not my worst one, but that's how bad 2019 is, where I'm like, you know what? I'd rather watch eye stabbing than deal with this shit.
Make that a quote.
Oh my gosh.
And, I mean, there's better movies about dealing with, like, assault and your personal demons and whatnot. Like,
But not-
Again, Halloween 2018 was pretty good at that. I mean, exaggerated, dramatized. But I'm like, they did it so good the year before, and then they fumbled it the year after.
Come on.
So yeah, that is it from us. Please like, share, and subscribe. Watch our Die Hard, but it's a Christmas
Yes.
movie. I mean, I guess it's not Christmas anymore. Let us know how your Christmas was. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I guess just let us know how your Sunday was. Did you have like a good Sunday? Like,
How's your holiday? How's the winter going? Winter solstice. Was it last
how was
year?
Hanukkah?
Yeah, I think
Is
last
Hanukkah still going? I think Hanukkah's done by this
I
point.
don't know.
How was your
Does anyone have
Hanukkah?
any New Year's plans? Oh, you make a wish. Anyone got any New Year's plans going on? Anyone, you know?
Yeah, let us know. And we're excited for the next year. So many big things planned. We had a lot of fun this year. A lot of fun. Yeah. And
Best year yet.
That's all I have to say. I'm very tired.
Bring
I am on
2023,
4 hours of
baby.
sleep. I need to go to sleep.
Oh my God,
I
what
need
a
to go to
baby.
sleep. So goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Happy New
Bye.
Year.
They're playing like Felicia versus Bishamon, and if Bishamon ends with a certain move, you just cut Felicia in half.
Did you make sure to see Orchid's thong? Here's 30 more chances as she spins around.
See, you've got the Batgirl shirt on, and you're wearing a Robin t-shirt.
Batgirl and Robin to your Batman.
And Turtles is like Star Wars in the, like, Star Wars is a 70s thing that ran into the 80s. Turtles started in the 80s, but really grew in the 90s.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.